Okay, so we're going to go through angle properties, and there are many different rules we're technically going to need to know for this. So, the very first one is we have a triangle in this case, and we're going to talk about the interior angles of a triangle. That's all the angles inside. We're going to call them A, B, and C. If I was to set up an equation, or first maybe we should talk about the idea, what will they all add up to? 180. 180. So how can I write that as an equation? How would I write that out?
A
Rojan?
A plus B plus C.
That's right. A plus B plus C equals 180 degrees. Okay. So here's an equation to help us remember the interior angles of a triangle. And the next one, we're just going to have two lines that intersect each other. Okay. And we'll call angle Y, and we'll call this angle X. Now you'll notice I've named two of them angle X and two of them angle Y. Why have I done that? Why have I given them the same letter? Because they're the same or equal. The word we're looking for is equal. And in this case, how would you refer to them? Are they beside each other? Across. There's usually a word we use. Anyone know? Opposite. These are considered opposite angles. So this is how we classify this. These are called opposite. Okay? And opposite angles, in this case, are equal, right? So in this case, we have y is equal to y, and we know x is equal to x. Okay? These are opposite of each other. They have equal amounts. Okay. Another example. We have a straight line, and then another line cutting it. Okay? We're going to refer to these two angles. We'll call them A and B.
They have to equal 180.
That's right. Because a straight line is technically 180 degrees, if we were to add A and B together, we know that the two of the angles would equal 180 degrees. Does anyone know what this relationship is technically defined as? These two angles. Starts with an S. What's that?
Similar?
Not similar.
Symmetry.
Supplementary, they're called. Okay? And that's okay if we haven't heard that word before. We're going to keep that in mind. We need to know that for upcoming stuff. These are called supplementary angles. Okay, with that very same idea, we'll extend it. Very similar, actually. We're going to create an angle. We have two lines. These are considered perpendicular lines. So, at the corner of a perpendicular line, what angle do we get? Do we know? 90 degrees. Okay? So we have perpendicular lines, and we're going to have a line that cuts them. So we'll call one of the angles E, and the other one F. What equation can I build with E and F? What do we know they'll, if added together, they'll equal to? That's right. E plus F equals 90 degrees. Okay? This relationship, does anyone know what this is called? That's right, complementary angles. Very good. Okay? These are called complementary angles. Let's make sure we spell it right.
Oh man, this thing again. What's the opposite again?
They're equal to each other, opposite angles. Okay. So those are like four basic ones that kind of all refer to each other. We're going to talk about three others, and we'll set up the relationships. These ones tend to deal with parallel lines and the types of relationships they can have. So we're going to set up parallel lines here, and another line is going to cut through them. We're going to set up this relationship 3 different times to talk about how pairs relate to each other. Okay? So in the first relationship, and I guess we'll use maybe H and G as letters. We're going to set up a pattern where this is H, okay? And should we call this one, oh, that'd be great. H and G, okay? So these two angles set up a certain pattern that is very similar to a letter. Does anyone know what letter this is similar to? Z. It's usually known in short as a Z pattern. If you don't quite see the pattern, what we're talking about is if we were to connect lines, these would be the two angles inside of a Z pattern. These two angles, do we know what relationship they have with each other? Angle H and angle G, what are they? No, they're not opposite angles. Opposite angles are above. In terms of the value, the angle of each, Are they different? Do we add them together to get an amount?
Yeah, you add them together, you get 180.
Not necessarily.
Or 90.
They're the same. They're identical. In this case, angle H is equal to angle G. They're the exact same. And these are called alternating angles. Okay? Dragging a little here. All right, we'll set up two other relationships. Exact same scenario. We have parallel lines and a line cutting through, and in the other one we'll have parallel lines and a line cutting through.
Wait, what?
Okay? So in this one here, I'm going to call this, what letters have I used?
C.
C and D? Sure.
F.
These are C and D. Okay? Does anyone know what letter?
C.
Oh, sorry, that's not actually what I wanted. Oh, yeah, well, let's do that one. Great. You're right. This sets up what's usually known as a C pattern. Okay? These two angles together create what's known as a C. They're the interior angles in the letter C. What relationship do C and D have?
They opposite.
They're not opposite. Are they equal to the same amount?
No.
No.
Supplementary.
They have a type of supplementary. You're right. In fact, what Carl has discovered is that this angle D is technically the same angle here. Okay? And what do we know about supplementary angles? What do they add up to?
90 or 180.
180. So we know in this case, angle C plus angle D equal 180 degrees. Okay? And it's very good because this is a supplementary type of relationship. They call this corresponding angles.
Which names?
We're going to have to remember these names. Okay? And then finally, the last relationship I want to talk about, give me two letters we haven't used. M and N. Beautiful.
M&M.
M and N. Great. M and N. Yes, what type of letter does this tend to look like? That's right.
Oh, there's an F.
It looks like an F. And what they mean by F is it looks like at the angles of the arms of F, these are the angles below them. Okay? What relationship do M and F, M and N have with each other?
They're the same.
That's right. They're equal in this case. So very similar to our other example. Angle M is equal to angle N. And the name of this, anyone? Oh, sorry. You named that wrong. These are corresponding. Thank you.
What?
These are called co-interior.
There you have
Oh, it's really dragging this one.
Should we start?
So those are co-interior. Those are corresponding. Sorry, I wrote it.